transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
Alrighty, what is up everybody? Whether you're watching this in morning, noon, evening, or midnight, hope you're having a good day or night. Even if you hate me for one reason or another, I'll still wish you a good day. So after my Soulcalibur Future Will It Live or Die video, I wanted to do a follow-up video, giving a list of things that if we so happen to be in the timeline where a Soulcalibur 7 happens, this is just a handful of things I think could help the game, because however you feel or believe, it's a no-brainer that a next game of Soulcalibur is truly do or die. It's a make or break game, no matter how you or I feel. But before we get started, please, if you have not watched my last video on Soulcalibur, you should really watch that one first, because this is pretty much a sequel to that one, and there may be some key references or anything that you may not understand without the prior video. So watch that one, then come back to this one. Last thing, I wanted to make my list things that every player of every skill level can benefit from. So whatever skill level you are, most of these, if not all, can relate to. So for you fighting mechanic heads out there, you're gonna have to bear with me, not getting too deep into the deep mechanics that only experienced players will understand, and like 80% of people probably wouldn't even care to hear if they clicked on this video, because you know I want everybody to feel a part of this discussion. So without further ado, let's get started. A quick honorable mention is no censorship. Now, I didn't put this in the list because I'm pretty doubtful there would be censorship in a new Soulcalibur, but with how modern games have been acting as of recent years, you can never be 100% sure. And I say it all the time, I am 100% against censorship, especially since most of the time it caters to one side of real life political agendas, and we don't need that in our beloved video games, right? So let's keep the censorship out the game. Be authentic. Let games be their authentic self. Number 1, completely remove reversal edge. Don't nerf, don't fix, don't improve it, don't do anything. Just remove it from existence. Do I really have to go into detail? Like, do I honestly have to explain why removing reversal edge? Because anyone that has played Soulcalibur 7 Soulcalibur 6 shall automatically know it is widely hated by all skill levels of the community, rightfully so, and is one of the big reasons a lot of people stop playing Soulcalibur 6. Take this away and don't ever bring it back ever again. If you heard me from my last video, I won't go into depth because I'm going to make a whole solo video just crucifying reversal edge. It deserves its very own video. I don't know when that will be, if it's next or down the line, but I would do that. So yeah, remove reversal edge. And if you are somebody that so happens to like reversal edge, you are entitled to like what you want. Though I'm going to take a wild guess that either Soulcalibur 6 is your very first Soulcalibur game, and perhaps you don't know what Soulcalibur was like before reversal edge entered, or maybe you are somebody that, you know, let's be honest, probably uses reversal edge more often in your toolbox. Nevertheless, do you want to keep players for the next game? If we get one, if so, then we have to remove reversal edge so people can enjoy Soulcalibur at its peers. Number 2, add more stages. Man, is it mere that Soulcalibur 6 just lacks so badly in stage varieties. I got bored looking at these same few stages. Like, look at the stages. Most of them are just the same stages, but at different times of the day. And yes, I 100% know Soulcalibur does this in every other game, but the difference is they were optional in the same slot as that stage, whereas in Soulcalibur 6, they have them in separate slots to make it look like it's more stages than it actually is. when those slots could have just went to a new entirely different stage. Also, am I crazy, or Silver Wolves Haven and Cursed Moonlit Woods literally the same goddamn stages? Literally. And here they are. I can't possibly be the only one to notice that, right? Taking up 3 slots, half the stages were copy and paste. The only stages I like are Oceanberg Castle, Konpeku Temple, and Astral Chaos. So in a Soulcalibur 7, I would like to see a variety of different stages, like in the older Soulcaliburs, like 1, 2, and 3 had so many stages. Look at the stage designs of Soulcalibur 6. So gorgeous. Soulcalibur 1 is such a gorgeous game, and the game is 20 years older than Soulcalibur 6. We need more arenas to fight on in Soulcalibur 7, and of course, still have different versions of time of the day stages, but have more to select. We need more stages, so get to it. Number 3, add a rank filter. For whoever office takes over working on the online features and is not smoking crack this time around, I pray you add a rank filter. No sprout to low rank wants to jump right on rank, low right into a demonic high rank to completely eradicate their soul. Have a rank filter where ranks pair up closer to ranks around similar ranks. You know, basically the same way how Tekken has been doing. I mean, damn, even Mortal Kombat had this one simple task organized. So for Soulcalibur 7, when players are playing in rank, for Christ's sakes, pair them up with other players closer to their ranks. Is that too much to ask? I hope not. I know you can do it. The question is, do you feel like doing it? Knowing Bandai Namco, this simple task is a hit or miss. Number 4, casual player mode matchmaking. I've touched on this a bit in my last video, but I definitely think we could use a casual player mode matchmaking online to those of us that don't really like playing in ranked. In casual mode is our main mode. Give us the option to pair up with an opponent the same way as ranked, but without any points on the line, of course. This would give another route to finding games rather than just being in lobbies or waiting in a lobby. This is a pretty standard feature in fighting games. I don't know why Soulcalibur 6 did not have this option, but I have no doubt that a Soulcalibur 7 should have this feature. Number 5, bring back returning offline modes. Team Battle, Survivor, Weapon Exhibition. Don't worry, offline only players, I have not forgot about you. Yeah, Soulcalibur 7 needs more offline modes. There was hardly any in Soulcalibur 6, and honestly, all there really was to do in the long run was online mode and creations. So if you were someone that only played offline in Soulcalibur 6, I'd feel bad, because what did you do? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Because I imagine story mode, only so many times you can do that. In Libra Souls, after you beat it to the ground, there's not much else to do. So for Soulcalibur 7, you gotta have your offline modes, and I think they should bring back returning modes from earlier games, like Team Battle, Survivor mode, a good mode for players that want to set records. I myself love sudden death, match Survivor, and setting records, and also remember Weapon Exhibition from the earlier Soulcalibur games, where characters would show off their weapon katas. That was cool to view every now and then. Yeah, let's bring some life back into Calibur with these features. And no, there's more offline modes from the past. I just only listed a few that some may remember, the most memorable ones, pretty much. Number 6, character creation. If you were a creation fiend like myself, then I could imagine you would like enhanced improvements in character creations. First one, allow us to select different stages in the background of our character creation menu, just like in Soulcalibur 4. This is good because people love posting pictures and poses of their creations. So what to make that better if you can do it on a stage background that blends perfectly with your character? I know you can do this with mods on PC, but you know, why not just make this a in-game feature for everyone to explore? Second, we only get 3 slots for accessories. Can we maybe bump that up to at least 6 slots of accessories? Our sometimes really needed for making whatever you're going for to look how you envision. Sometimes 3 is not enough. So if we could get 6 or more, that would be nice. And try to balance out the number of equipment for males and females. In case you didn't know, there are double the amount of female creation pieces than there are for the male. The male side was lacking very, very bad in Soulcalibur 6. And possibly controversial or maybe complicated, because I know Soulcalibur is a medieval time period series taking place in the late 1500s. However, just for creation purposes, I would so love it if we could get more modern clothing equipments of the last 40, 50 to 60 years. I cannot tell you guys how many creations I have made and how many more creative ideas I have if we have more modern clothes. Again, I know this is asking something in the game that doesn't align with the time period, but just for character creation's sake, modern clothes of the last 50 years would be amazing. And I have to bring this up, creative souls. Now, I am guilty of using creative souls at times, but I am also against going into rank as a creative souls character. I don't know how complicated this actually is, but if there's a way to balance the size of creative souls by giving size options that are directly from the characters that you can match with your creative souls, that people can select to somewhat help with the bizarre hitbox and hurtbox issue, especially of small creative souls, because let's be honest, it's not fun fighting a small Ashroth or Nightmare that's the size of Amy. Something along those lines to help balance creative souls if possible. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, creative souls, because of the different edited sizes of them, they create a janky hitbox, and the small creative souls actually does more damage, giving it advantage. So I would like for them to find a way to fix this if possible in Soulcalibur 7. Number 7, punishment for Ragequitters in ranked. This is one that I think everybody that plays online in ranked mode would love to have. The only people I can see not wanting this is notorious Ragequitters themselves. Oh boy, the rage quitting problem in Soulcalibur 6 was so horrendous. Players found a way to plug their game without losing any points, and because of this, we have players like these two who have multiple S ranks off of doing this. Personal experience with these guys. Check out my past videos. They raged on me multiple times. Oh, and this gentleman, anyone on PlayStation that played from 2020 to 2022 probably remembers him. Anyways, it is truly demoralizing to play a hard-fought match close to winning, close to gaining big points, and even ranking up only to have your opponent plug on you and nothing. That's it. No punishment, no points to you. You get nothing. And I must say, you know, if I was still giving my winning points via forfeit from my opponent that quit, I wouldn't be that upset. But the fact you get nothing, and these rage quitters continue to exploit this to raise themselves up the ranks and leaderboard, it creates a really bad environment in the game. You see, the Tekken community has been going through hell in their first year last year because of the massive rage quitting problem. It took Bandai Namco eons to finally do something about it. I mean, hey, Mortal Kombat 1 is a terrible game, but one thing they did right is having an answer for rage quitters. And no, I'm not talking about quitalities. I mean, even if your opponent does a hard plug, you still get your points. I mean, they even had this in Mortal Kombat 11, if I remember correctly. So hopefully, if a Soulcalibur 7 happens, they have a punishment for rage quitters right away. If they don't, then I'm not touching rank at all. Number 8, bring back a revamped returning Weapon Master mode. One of the greatest things from Soulcalibur 1 and 2 was Weapon Master mode, where you are battling different fights with specific battle conditions. This made for a fun, challenging, and rewarding factor where you can unlock weapons, costume stages, and other side features. This was a very fun, exciting feature that captivated a lot of people's attention, and one that I've no doubt would draw a lot of players' attentions to even keep things fresh. They could have like a weekly or monthly Weapon Master challenge where you and a couple of other online players could team up in a team battle to fight a very difficult boss fight that grants a special reward for defeating him or her, similar to Mortal Kombat 11's 3 versus 1 tower bosses. This will make sure that there's always players to return to. It is a plan that could go so right if they just really capitalize on it. I just gave them an idea to take note on right there. Number 9, story mode. Now, whether you care about fighting game stories or not, they play a factor in all of your favorite fighting games, as your favorite characters, most of the time, their playstyles are based off of lore reasons. So Soulcalibur 7 without a doubt needs to have a cinematic story. We can't do that slideshow shenanigans like in Soulcalibur 6. Huang is one of my top favorite Soulcalibur characters, and I was falling asleep playing his story. You want eyes on your story? We are in 2025, so a cinematic story should be no-brainer to include. And let's spice it up in the cinematic story. Have a QTE sequence like from Soulcalibur 3. This would be a good callback to Chronicles of the Sword, which is the best storytelling of any Soulcalibur game. So bring that in Soulcalibur 7 cinematic story with QTE sequences in some of the cutscenes. It'll also keep people paying attention to what's going on. This, to me, is an ideal way to go about story mode in Soulcalibur 7. Number 10, Crossplay. Now, Soulcalibur 6 kinda came in at the very end of an era, right before Crossplay became the mandatory feature in fighting games. Personally, I feel like they could have still added Crossplay into Soulcalibur 6, but they didn't. The plug was pulled after Season 2, and honestly Soulcalibur 6 would have died anyways because of all the issues, but I've been saying for the longest the crossplay would have kept the game going a bit longer. I mean, for the past 3 years, whether you're in ranked or casual, if you play Soulcalibur 6 daily, then you are continuously running into the same exact people over and over and over and over again in an already dying player base. Crossplay would have at least widened the chances of running into more different players. So going into a Soulcalibur 7, it is essential to have crossplay so that PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players can all play together. Friends from different platforms can now play together without one getting a whole other console just to play. This saves the trouble and builds upon the community. Number 11, lobby practice mode options and or groups in one lobby. So this is a lot, but it's actually not. So if you are like me and you don't really like waiting in a lobby, I just cannot sit in an 8-player lobby anymore. The highest I can go is 5, and my preferred choice is 4. Well, I will love the ability to go into a practice mode to keep your momentum going and the blood flowing in the hands, and to also practice really quick on something that may have happened to you in a fight you just recently lost. Waiting countless minutes until your turn can be a drag, especially because Soulcalibur fights can be quite long. You want to be warmed up because your opponent at the top sure as heck already warmed up. Give a practice mode in lobbies. In case you don't know, Mortal Kombat's had this option since Mortal Kombat X, so it can be done. Secondly, allow different groups of people to fight in a lobby. Now, I know this is a feature that I don't know if it started in Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, but in those games, multiple people can fight in other slots of the same lobby. This will benefit Soulcalibur very well, where people can still have an option to fight other players in the lobby instead of waiting. No insane microtransaction or live services. I can't believe I almost forgot to put this on the list, but boy oh boy, talking about how absolutely atrocious the microtransaction is in most games, Soulcalibur 7 needs to most certainly not go the route of locking every single piece of content behind a paywall. This has become an extremely major problem in fighting games, seen in Mortal Kombat 1, which I could go 2 hours straight talking about. Mortal Kombat 1 microtransaction issues have incomplete game on release and locking everything behind a premium store. Disgraceful. We're also seeing this in Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 with these stupid fight passes and battle passes. I fear this to be the norm for fighting games, having half the content be locked in sub passes or in-game currencies that you have to spend real money to get. If this gets done in Soulcalibur 7, I will have lost any hope left in modern fighting games. Implementing live service crap in Soulcalibur 7, I promise you, will be a key factor in losing many players. Imagine if they do this with character creation mode. You know, the very special mode that brings in most Soulcalibur fans. Yeah, well, any microtransaction live service slop will lose players faster in Soulcalibur 7 than it did in Soulcalibur 6. And number 13, and finally, the ultimate roster. Yeah, this is the roster needed to save Soulcalibur. They need to go all out, put all the eggs in the basket, get everything from the kitchen sink, the last resort, the end be all, and create Soulcalibur Ultimate. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm half serious and I'm half joking about wanting this roster because, I mean, why not? Everyone is here and you literally can't be mad about your favorite not being in. Imagine the chaos with all these fights. Oh, how insane that would be. But at the same time, do you realize how much of an absolute nightmare, no pun intended, it would be to get every single character, and think of the hell they will have to go through to get the licensing to every returning guest character back. They would never go through these lengths for Soulcalibur. But I will say, just a solid roster. That can't be too much to ask. I actually think Soulcalibur 6 was a solid roster, missing a few legacy characters and notable names, but that's it. Other than that, they got it. So I'd say piggyback off of Soulcalibur 6 roster, plus a few other fan favorites and legacy characters, and we got a solid roster. As long as they don't pull a Soulcalibur 5 with the roster, then all is good. So that's that, a solid roster, and maybe bring a couple of guest characters in that will help the market of the game, but also actually fit well with Soulcalibur. Sorry to be lovers, but a character that could blend right into the Soulcalibur universe, like a certain somebody. What are some returning characters you want in a Soulcalibur 7, or what guest characters would you want to make an appearance? I know people say Dante from Devil May Cry, which I love Devil May Cry, one of my favorite franchises of all time, but I don't think a lot of people realize how powerful Devil May Cry characters are. Like, without going into a power scaling tirade, they are stronger than the entire Soulcalibur universe. So let's just say, in game, a lot of people will ultimately hate their wish once they have to fight against them. And just like that, 13 things I believe could help save Soulcalibur if we so happen to be in a timeline where Soulcalibur 7 happens. Which, once again, if you want to know my thoughts about that, click on the video I made prior talking about Soulcalibur's future. So there you have 13 things that could benefit players of all skills and all natures and desires within Soulcalibur. Now, I personally feel these are standard requests and not asking too much. Like, is it really that hard? Nonetheless, can they implement all of these? Yes. Will they do this? I am not sure. Most modern game developers don't believe in putting quality of life in games anymore. If you have any ideas or even your own list, I would like to hear them. Maybe someone at Namco could see any of these, probably not, but you just never know. Always the possibility. Look, I know I sound or may come off negative, but I'm just being honest, and I have lost faith in modern game developers to make the games that we grew to love. So these days, everything is hit or miss, but for Soulcalibur's sake, I only wish for the best outcome. Listen, we need Soulcalibur 7 to return to its roots of early games. Soulcalibur 7 has to bring back the magic that Soulcalibur 1, 2, and 3 had. The early games were peak Soulcalibur. Don't stray away from what made Soulcalibur Soulcalibur. Gather the magic that Soulcalibur 1, 2, and 3 had. Expand it. Anyways, that's the video. What would you like in a Soulcalibur 7? Take care, and I will see you next time.